Yeah, I guess we can keep it right there in what used to be the same division with Oregon's display against BYU. Of course, they were coming off a big win against Baylor at home. So a lot of talk about BYU. Dan Lanning, what's got to be impressive is that they take the butt kicking that they did against Georgia. And the next week they take on Eastern Washington and they didn't limp through a win. They handled it. They obviously were back motivated on point. He was able to turn them around because you don't crush a team by 56 points if you're just going to sleepwalk through the week. So they obviously were able to reverse it straight from the Georgia outcome. And then they back that up against a good team against BYU. And just your thoughts about the Ducks and what you see out of them.
We were there week 2, and it was against Eastern Washington, which I understand is not BYU or Georgia. But when you go back and watch the Georgia game, it was 29 missed tackles. 29. They gave up 376 yards after contact, not after the catch, after contact. And I just felt watching them in the spring in training camp and then that first game, I'm like, they might not be better than Georgia, but they're not 49-3. Like that, they're not that far off. And that's why week 2 was important, as they had 2 missed tackles, 9 yards after contact. And then week 3 against BYU, to your point, rallying to the football. Brandon Dorless plays his best game. He's got a chance to be an All-American on the defensive line. They need him to. They didn't have one of their best players on defense at the linebacker spot, Justin Flo. They looked the part that we thought they would be in week 1. And I say all that because I think it's important to remember that in that week 1 game, they went up against a team that has played on the biggest stages for the last couple of years in college football. And here came Oregon with a new team, a new quarterback, a new coach against his former team. And Bo Nix told me this. He goes, hey, we were doing like stretching a game for the first time. So you add in the game, the stage, performance anxiety, all the things that happen. Then you don't play well. I think it began to set a narrative of how far out Oregon is. And that's why I think, again, the surgical game of beating BYU was so impressive. It wasn't as though, again, BYU had a sack, fumble, punt block. Like, it wasn't that. It was boom, 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 execution, touchdown. Boom, 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 stop them on a 4th down, get the ball back, touchdown. Like, it was one of those games where Oregon proved to be the better team. And I think it was a huge win for the league, especially, it's kind of always been that social media joke, right? BYU won the Pac-12 South or whatever it is. And, I love the flip side of it. Like, Oregon just won the Big 12 because they beat BYU. Like, it's funny. Like, we might as well enjoy it both ways if we're going to have to deal with it one way or the other. So I was really impressed. And I'm going to be impressed with the Ducks, I think, moving forward. Big challenge in what I will call a top 25 matchup against Washington State, Stanford, Arizona, bye week. If they can roll through the bye week, they're going to put themselves in similar position to what we thought heading into the season, which was in position to go back to the title game and maybe consideration for more.
It's Yogi Roth, Pac-12 Network. This is good stuff, getting the breakdown in the Pac-12. This is phenomenal. I've had all sorts of folks ask me constantly, you need to get Yogi Roth on there. And I'm like, I know I do.
Thanks, bro.